G'day and welcome back to Stitch Up, and the final episode in this series. This is our Passengers Let's Play of Voxel Tycoon. So hello there. I've got the camera in a different position now. I have my new monitors and dual monitors this time, so I can now see the recording as well. So that's all brilliant. We're in the final episode of Voxel Tycoon, so this will be the very last one. Just doing a user interface off fly through of some of the Megapolis. What is it? It was a giant city, and there's been a couple of little updates since I've played. It has been a little while, but you can see all of this. Look at this part here; it looks absolutely brilliant. And you can see there's a town hall. Turn this part back on, and Gwalia is now a Megapolis, and of course we've got the growth, the economy, the passengers, and everything's showing bad. So that's interesting. I thought we were doing okay, but apparently not. This is the northern end of the city, and yeah, I think it is all doing pretty good. This episode, well, I think it's all doing pretty good, and we're happy with how it has gone. We've got these lovely, we've got some gold things happening over here. We do have these lovely high-speed rail which we put in. Of course, the right angles, a bit of a shame, but that's just how that mod works. And of course, last episode we reinvented this massive bypass of the industrial area. And so we put in this extra bypass, and the idea is it's meant to stop trains from blocking up, and they are still moving around. But yeah, you can see even here we've got 3 sidings here coming into the turnabout, and of course over here 3 heading north and 3 heading south as we look at it here, which is brilliant. Definite early lane selection going on, and watch the previous episodes if you want to learn a bit more about my lane selection techniques in Voxel Tycoon. So game just saving, but this episode we're going to jump straight in. This episode we are now going to get into, and this will take a second to load up as it always does, but I've just clicked onto the research, and you can see here that we need well, it looks like about another 100 of various things for the final bit of research to be completed. This will be the final one, computing devices, and we've got 3 labs going absolutely silly over here. So guys, please jump in, enjoy the Stitch Up intro, and I'll see you back here with our game plan in just a sec. Right, I'm just flying over to the newer areas, and this is a really big map. We've unlocked quite a few areas here. We do have about 14 million there in revenue, so we can spend a little bit this episode, no problem. But as we fly down here, remember, don't forget, this is where we move the gold operations, and I wanted to tinker with the gold operations just a little bit. So if I turn the user interface back on, and also this alt mode back on, you can see here that, and surely we're in speed 1, thank you. We slipped into speed 2. You can actually see the gold here now. Of course, the gold is being mined from these 4, going straight into these warehouses and straight out. The belt can hold a little bit more, so I wanted to buffer a bit more than this. So I'm going to add in a couple more of these guys. Now, to do this, I'm just going to do a couple of little bits of editing. In fact, I think I'll just bring it all down to grade, and we should be right here. So if I just do kind of that at 87 million, yeah, that'll be good. And if I want to put another one along here, let's just do this, and I think we can see exactly what I'm going to do there. So I do need to find these gold mines, so I'll go into industry, and then I'll go into mining facilities, and I will look for these gold mines, which is already selected. 663,000. So I can put, don't forget, they automatically get into here and then they leave via those. And one actually, if I have a look at it, they both go into here, but they both then filter into this one and then come out of just the one, and that's fine at the moment. What we're thinking of, I wonder if I can get 3 of these guys in, 3 more. I think I can. It'll cost quite a bit, but hey, it is the final episode, so let's just do it. Oop. Is that, yeah, that is like that. Okay, I'm going to do this, yeah. Rightio, let's go back into mining, select those gold mines, which is selected, and we'll be able to put in, because I'm probably going to put in, if I want to get 3 in, so if I go, in fact, what about if we go shift, if I go 1, 2, and and then 3. Yeah, brilliant. Now I want to see what they're connected to. Let's pause the game for a second, have a bit of a look. So if I go here, click on the new ones. First of all, let's look at the original 4. Let's look at this one first and just look at logistics, and he's connected to both. If I stay on the logistics, connected to both, but also exportable to here should we need to export raw gold, but we're not exporting raw gold. So that's just what that other connection is. But because we are connected to here and doing something with this, we're actually just going to be putting the raw gold straight onto this belt over here. So that's those two. Let's go to this one, logistics, and it's connected to both. I will now just connect on this one. It does leave a few of them open. So that is connected just to one. Now we didn't mind that because one tips into the other, and that is fine. And one tipping into the other is just fine. Now these new ones, this one's not connected, and this one is not connected, and this one is not connected. So what we're going to do with these 3 is just get ourselves a nice little belt operation happening down here to help out. And I think I know exactly how I want this to go. So let me go to conveyor, select conveyor device, go to our standard little bollocking one and connect in. So we can go with the shift key, we can go here and we can do the rotating while holding the shift so it's there. I'm going to go here and holding the shift. I'm then going to go here this way. Yep. And there, and that should be, yeah, that's nice. I like that. Okay, conveyor belts, and what we'll do here is just along here and to there. Nice. And then we're going to go along here and down to there. So that's coming straight out onto that. So that'll just put them straight out onto this belt and straight into there. And then of course connect these 2 together and this down the middle. Right. If we unpause the game, do a bit of reversing, and then we should be loving it. So long one, out. So now they're both producing, sending out the right way. And then this nice long one. A couple of clicks on the nice long one, which we always give that little tip every single time. I wonder if that drives people nuts. I don't think so. Okay, so unpause the game now because we are on pause. So we go speed 1. Well, we're already on speed 1, sorry. We're not paused because the gold was moving. But you'll now see that this guy will start to come out. So this is the production that's happening over here. Everything's producing. Train is unprofitable, but we'll see. And now what I'm going to be looking at here is this really starting to back up. This will start to fill up. You can see that fills up a little bit. We'll go speed 1. We'll turn off alt mode, and you can see now we've got a full line here. So this is the original before we did this. It had these gaps. Now we've got a full line, and we've got these guys backing up and buffering, and eventually this will back up as well. But I'd rather have that happen. Then what I could do is I could actually feed this line out a little bit differently. So we'll have 2 of these coming out. I could have 2 coming out of there, maybe. And then what we could do is divide these into 3 and 3 so they get at them a lot quicker. So that will be a little improvement. If you're looking for throughput, you can just split these into 2 rather than maximizing on one belt with 6, which has to split into exactly half, 1 each side, 50% each side. We could do 1 going to 3 and then the other going to 3. So don't forget you've got little bits to always add little bits of efficiency. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, now let's go. Here's the lovely train bringing those. What are they? Oh, he's bringing something down there. What are they again? Advanced wood frames. Yeah, we're selling them to both those towns, and it is quite nice. Now the advanced wood frames are being made in that X-Gold area where we decommission the gold mines from around here, and we with the advanced frames out here. Where are they? There they are. There. So those guys are coming out, and when they're coming out, they are backing up. Every second one is going forward off to being made into TVs. The others are going this way and being exported, and we've got a nice little backlog there for when the train arrives. Now the hold up here for the TVs is, let's work backwards on the TVs. Here they are. They are coming out sort of every now and then, and we are going to get there, and you can see over time we definitely will get there. But definitely a hold up here, and this is chips, and the chips coming in is grim because the chips are coming in here for radios, but radios are done and not being used anywhere. So even with the radios not being used, the chips are still sitting at that amount of space. And when I say chips, I really mean, what do I mean? I mean, what are these? Circuits. chips, circuits they are. So they'll come into there. And if we work back on the on this, you can also see some of them are originally going into here because don't forget, whatever we're making in this one, he needs circuits. So he's getting circuits. He's got these guys backed up. He's got money. If you scroll down, he needs the TVs and he needs the radios, but he's getting everything except the circuits are the ones that are really kind of slow. And that slow is the circuits going in here as well as the circuits going in holding up the TVs. So this episode we're going to really speed up the circuit production. And if I look at the circuit production line here, half of them are then also going out and being exported. So what we need to do at this point of the circuits, and if I follow that all the way there, yep, here it is here, it's here. This is where we need circuits to back up. That is the aim of this episode, is to get the circuits to back up into this one. So if we have a look over here, circuits are then being made, well, they're being buffered here, but then these are the 3 circuit productions. So I'm going to claim some land and put another 3 in there, but don't forget that eventually we also have some problems with some of the raw products. So let's go ahead and just make those guys and then we'll see how we go. So we'll add these guys in and then we'll see how that is. Now that should be fairly easy to do. If I click on the right ones, what do we got there? We've got terraforming and the leveling tool, and I'm going to take it from, say, here. I don't want to affect that lake though, but what I will do is just knock out that. Yep, and then we'll see how much room we need. I think if you look at this, the lineup, I think I need it to be about there, so I'm just going to do that. That could be nice. Let's have a look at it. Let's just actually put the cliff right on the lake with the exact sort of amount that it was already, so that's quite nice. I like that. Here comes one of the London tube trains. Shall we just have a quick look? Let's pause the game and jump off this and have a quick look. Yeah, he's not too bad. He's got a few in there. So these trains are great, the London tube trains. Absolutely spectacular. Part of one of the mods. Forgive me because I don't know who. It's been a while. And you may have heard, actually, Voxel Tycoon's about to have a bit of an update. I don't know what's going to be in this update. But it is about to have a bit of an update. I'm just making some extra room here because of the we wanted to move some conveyors around, so yeah, that's pretty good. But yeah, Voxel Tycoon's going to have a lovely update. It's going to be absolutely lovely. This is an electronic assembler, so that will be under industry and factory, and we need electronics assemblers. I want them to face this way, so it's going to be the tall bits over there, so that's the correct orientation, and I should have 2 squares. So let me just see here, because I don't want it to connect in with that, so I'm going to just do my own thing here. So let me just do, because I want to be careful here. I want to line them up horizontally, but I think I'm going to have to just be a bit careful. Yeah, let me just, well, I could almost make a change here, so that will be alright. I think that will be alright, actually. Let me just do this one across a little bit more, so we do these pods separate from each other. Actually, this one was down a bit, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Okay, so look, I'm just going to make these guys go, and I probably should have just, let's just get them going like this. Line them up horizontally, make it work still. So I'm going to hold the shift key this time, and I'm trying there. I've got 3 and 3 in the middle, and it's got the right orientation, so I'm going to do that. We are producing circuits, so I'll select that now, and of course that'll be brilliant. Put the recipe in each of those 3, and we've got to think about the inputs here. So we definitely want this guy to come along here and do the inputs on the right hand side. These are glass vacuum tubes of some description, so I want to do this like this. I'm going to go to conveyor, and I'm going to go actually, how are we doing this? Sorry, am I doing that? Am I doing that? Yes. Am I bulldozing? I am. If I hit the control, I'm doing minimal bulldozing. 1, 2, 3. I'm going conveyors, and I'm going to go tunnel and out and in. That lines up nicely. I'm just going to change the orientation of these giant ones so they're heading in that way. Then selecting my regular, and I'm going to come all the way across to the end one. So not there. I want to disconnect that in a sec. Is that going to be a problem? Are you going to be a lovely problem? I don't think so. You know what, I'm just going to do myself a tiny favor here and just come across a little bit and then come in and then connect into there. So that's nice. So that's going into there, and going into there. We only wanted these three. We've got plenty of room. It's the conveyor length that'll stitch you up, but we seem to be okay there. So I'm now going to do a couple of large connections here until they go the right way. Yep. And yeah, brilliant. Okay, so that's nice. And then we got this one coming in here. So I'll do this one slightly different. What we'll do here is we will go long ways, and we'll go... Oop, sorry, not a road. We don't actually want a road in there. Can we do this? We could do that. That would be a bit messy. I'll tell you what, we may have just done this one slightly wrong. Actually, yeah, let's do this. I'm just going to do this. I'm hoping we can fix that a little bit. That was the bit that was holding me up, but really, I've got problems either way if we do it. Hotkey is this, isn't it? Yeah, I forgot what hotkey that was. So let's get rid of holding the shift key. Get rid of this, and this, and this. Yep, nice. And go back to some conveyor reversing, and then we can just go to a bit of flip, bit of flip, bit of flip, and just do him so he's nice. Okay, good. So then we can go, so that's that one. Now we go along here, and we should have a nice easy way of doing this. So if I do that, then tunnel, tunnel, then up. Yep. I think that's enough for us to get round there with the tunneling. It is. Let me do this. If I do this one and go here, and then go tunnel, tunnel there, that's nice. And then I come from this side and I go tunnel. He's lovely as well. And then if I come to here and I go there and I go into the tunnel, lovely, very nice. A bit of flipping going on here. Let's do some large flipping. And large flipping. Now we shouldn't get too excited because we will have some issues here with these ingredients being supplied at the level that we want. So I need to connect in here the output line. So what I'm going to do is just think about this. Is there enough room to put a little output line in? There is. Nice. Tempted to unpause the game, but we'll just keep it going for a second. Let's go for a nice little tunnel there. Come along to here. That's a funny angle to be looking at things. It's saving, so I'm just going to wait for it to go bang and just do that. Then we can just go and... Right, we've got 3 extras in there. We now just need to worry about flipping of the conveyors. So this has been a lovely series. We started off with the Passengers expansion, and that was a long time ago. Sorry, I'm flipping... Oh God, I'm flipping weird ones now. Should be flipping these. Yeah, Passengers, with the Passengers expansion, the Passengers, not even expansions, just the Passengers update actually. And yeah, that was absolutely brilliant. Just going to unpause the game. We'll see how it goes. And you can see some of the ingredients are now coming along here and here, so that should be lovely. We can make extra ones of those, but you'll start to see what some of the issues are. And of course, I would love to have put them in the correct orientation actually. You know, I really am a bit OCD with stuff. Even the gaps here, but really if you think about it, that's a gap of 1, that's a gap of 2, so let's just get it. It's functional, it should be functional, and we want to see how this stretches our resources, because it will stretch our resources. And I think the thing to be stretched will be this. So I'm going to go to speed 3. I'm going to keep an eye on this because we don't want to overdo it, and I do want to do a couple of other little tinkerings this episode. Look at a few things. Look at this lovely train coming in here. Still waiting for those gold rings to be done. Shall we go out here and have a look? Oh yes, yep. This town's not connected. Where are you? Wow. So it's actually ported me out here. Where am I? I must be this way to get back in. Nope. Please tell me I can get back. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. That's the new area. Oh yeah, it is. He wants gravel now. So this area that wanted those lovely. What are they called again? Advanced wooden frames. So yeah, the supply there is pretty good apparently. You got any in the... Yeah, there's a few left in there. We've got a couple of trucks going on, but really we need another... We will need another train load out there for resupply very soon. Let's fly back on the train tracks. Helps me get back there alongside these lovely lakes, swampland there. Very nice. Gold train coming in. We could look at the gold train actually. Ooh. I'm just going to go speed 1, but I think, are we gridlocked? I spent so much time trying to ungridlock last time. I have so many large trains. And, ooh, we're going to start getting notifications now about gridlock. But if I go, I'm still on speed 1 here, but if I do check out this, I should have now these guys coming out at a much better rate. Because they're coming out of both. But again, you can see it is these here that's causing the issue. Ah, yep, we've got one of these operating the back way. The wrong way, sorry. There it is. So 2 out of 3 were working, and that's 2 out of 3's worth over there to increase. So that should actually come together. But trains is a problem. And part of the problem might be that these guys can't get away. So let me see if I can send any trains north just to clear the gridlock. Because where are you off to? If you're this one here, let's have a look at this guy, right? This guy here, and look at the train right behind him as well. Speed 1, and let's just see, make sure we're not on something. So you are heading to from Horsham to Gwalia. So Horsham to Gwalia. So you're just taking a bypass, really. Follow vehicle. Alright, let's not do that. We don't want to follow the vehicle. But you should be able to go now, because you're going to come down here, you're going to come down there, and you're going to head out this way. So if I get them to ignore a signal, it'll just ignore the next signal. So let's have a look at it. We go to here, and it's ignore closest signal. So you give it 1, it ignores 1. So that'll clear that. The train behind it needs to do the same. I can't help but think that's not really going to help us too much. But yeah, I don't know why that was a problem, but what was the problem there? Actually, if I have a look here, you've got signals there. The signal's just gone up. Ooh. Did something just bang? It sounded like something banged, but it wasn't. It was just an industrial noise. I'd like to see this train moving. Got a block or a chain? So you're just a block signal, so why is this not happening? What's happening here? So where are you heading to? You're going from Horsham to Gwalia as well, so you'll need to take the inside line, won't you? Yeah, the outside line there just goes that way. Everyone else needs to take this one and go to the inside line. So I think I'm going to make a change here where these trains can get into this outside line earlier, as opposed to coming up here and doing it. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to make a change over here. So I want to pause the game. So trains here, it'll take the outside line. Both these lines head in this direction, by the way. The outside line just to head down to that little used area, and most trains will come here to come into the bypass area, but every train will have to take this side, because only trains coming from that little area are going to be able to take the outside lane, and so we want them to make a difference. So if I pause the game, send this guy back to depot, send a depot. Oh, hang on, not that. Stats. Let's go send to selected depot. I like it to be the selected one, and that's going to be it. I must remember to get him out of the depot. Yeah, 2 of those gold trains just sitting in there. So he'll go there. Let me just do that and then go speed 2. And as soon as he's gone, we pause. Oh, hang on. Send to closest depot. We don't want that. Tow to selected depot, which will be the one where we teleport. The original teleport. So we'll do that. And he should be gone immediately, actually. And we're still paused. Yeah, that's lovely. Okay. And then I want to just hit him to go out, actually. So let's set him back out. Let's set him free. So he'll go. There he goes. Lovely. Right, brilliant. And now, let's make the change here. So we go to standard rails. And we want to make the change so there's a decision to be made here. Now, I think I want to do it like this, because I think that's nice. That means there's a decision to be made here, although up ahead, really, I'm just going to leave a block signal there, because it's only saying is it free up ahead. Now I want to grab 2 blocks here. Same thing. There's no decision to be made. You're going forward, but there is there's something ahead there. So I want them to do a block. So if I go here to semaphore, and it's a block version of, and we put 2 of them in, that will make that'll be lovely. Now here is the decision to make. So I'm going to change this guy to a semaphore. A pre-semaphore or a semaphore chain, and I'm going to just swap him out to that, so he's got 2 instead of 1. Okay, so that's nice. Then coming out of there, we should have 2 blocks, and we do. But coming out of here, I'm just going to put another block in each. I know it's very tight, but we're going to just do it and go with it. I'm going to see if that allows trains to get through a little bit better. Part of it as well was to move the high-speed rail much further out and to make this a triple tracked section, but really it's a lot of infrastructure change for not much win, and I don't know if it would have helped us with everything. This created a little bit of extra room here. Let's see this guy. So this guy now, he's a coal guy, right? He wants to go primary hub and Horsham, so really he is going to want to be... Yes, he is taking the outer line and still to get to the primary hub. So he'll come out here. He's on the outer line. Now from the outer line there, how's he going to do that? Oh, he will do that, but he'll want to be getting in here. So he's going to stop at this one because this is where he's going to come in. But that allows him to bunch up a little bit better. Now that allows train here to move out. That allows this guy to move through, and it should allow another train to come in, which it has. Because look at this, and now this guy's coming out. So that little change has kept this whole thing moving. Gold train's moving down as well. So just a little tinkering, and that sort of happens. We'll check it out. I don't know if we're out of the woods. I mean, look at this. Look at this station. Look at this. How lovely is that? I mean, there's a lot there. Yeah, and I think I spoke about this a few episodes ago. Going back in time, I would have put the second station here. So I will always, in a vanilla version of this game, or even this one, which is pretty vanilla, I'd say, apart from the gold and a few of the trains, you know, apart from that, nothing game changing. But what I will do is that if I'm playing to the end, which I probably always will, I'll always have a double large station in a hub area, not just one. I'd have two in there. One could be in, one could be out, one could be imports, one could be exports. That could work quite nicely, but leaving room for infrastructure is amazing. Leaving room for factories is brilliant. Look at that factory. I absolutely love that factory. I'd love to get rid of the green underneath. I tried one of the mods, but yeah, we're going to get these little train alarms because it was blocked up quite a bit. So we are going to get those, but I'm on speed 1 and I just want to keep seeing how we're going. Quick check of the time, and yeah, the episode is getting long, so I do want this to be the final. I want us to get to the last part of this, so I'm going to fast forward this, and we're just going to see it in here. I'm hoping, well, if the trains get stuck now, then we could be in all sorts of issues, but let's see. We're going to get a few issues there, but now what we should do is have double the supply of these chips, and we do. The chips are not buffering here, but they're certainly coming out in much bigger supply, which means one of the trains is probably waiting to export them. Is probably it'll be, yeah, this guy will probably actually be able to fill up on chips. Is anyone waiting to export chips? I wouldn't thought so, because we need them everywhere. They are going to back up here though, which is nice. That means all of them, see them backing up here, and that means all of them will now go down south. And as these get pulled through for one more research bit, the next ones will come through. 17 notifications for trains being unprofitable, and I think we may have a gridlock again, so I will just go to here. No, we got room in here for another 2 trains, but I seem to have some issues here. This one has blocked it, so what I don't want him doing is blocking it. So let's change that. Let's make it so it doesn't do that, because the gold train needs to be able to go through. So what we'll do is we'll pause, we'll send this guy back to depot, and we know how to do that, tow, and as soon as we've got it in sights, that one there, so he's going to go, and then going to click on depot and let him out as soon as I unpause it, and it means that this train will now be able to go, and that'll clear a lot of it, but I want this to change. So let's keep that there, but it's these guys, isn't it? Yeah, it's these 2 here. If we get rid of those guys, that'll block it, because that'll hold people back here. I think that'll do it. I think that'll do it. Get rid of these 3 signals. Careful I don't get rid of the overhead high speed. Okay, I think that'll make a difference. Let's just see about it. Jump out. Hit speed 1. The gold train was always going to go. The cliff face there, and the train's running along the cliff face. I love that. I think that's absolutely great. Yeah, I really love how the everything's turned out. Yeah. Even though the game thinks that my stats aren't brilliant, I still love it. I think it's great. Yeah, so we got the Stitch hat there. Camera on the side this time, which is a bit interesting. I don't know, I used to have camera over here, straight ahead, straight ahead. But now camera on the side. Trying that out. If you don't or do like that or don't care, leave it in the comments. That'd be lovely. And yeah, brilliant. Trains are flowing. Now trains are flowing, so that is interesting. Let me go back to speed 3 and just see if we get a little break here. Let's sit on top of this mountaintop and see if we get a little bit of a break. Of course, research sitting right in the industrial area too. I don't mind it. I used to run in previous series. I would always run my research into from a train, so I'd always pick up. But now having it here with so many things like this TV, they require a lot. And so if you think about it, they've got all 5 different or 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different things, including money, so 4 different products and money. So it is interesting, those guys. Yeah, you would have to bring all those by train. So, but it's nice doing it both ways, isn't it? Yeah, this is brilliant. Planning another little Voxel Tycoon special. I'm working on a special episode, like a one-off project episode that's coming up. Might tie in with the release. I'm going to start a new series. I'd like you to tell me what you'd like to see in the new series. If you want to see us in a desert biome or using any particular mods. I was thinking of running a new series and using the mod whereby it is the natural curves and the natural slopes. The more not the game slopes for the trains, but the actual curved one. So this would be like proper long curve. So I was going to maybe have a play with that and see whether it's pretty good. Yeah, have a look at this. This guy's really cleared. This is really cleared, and those alarms have stopped going now because they're all trains. You'll occasionally get some car ones, and that's because he's waiting for a train to turn up. But if you have a look here, the trains have really cleared out. So it's interesting. I did set the infrastructure correctly, but just a couple of tinkerings. You know, I had a couple of signals here, just forward, allowing a train to block the intersection, and when a train would have to be heading straight through and down there. Generally, it's just the gold train. That might be doing that. I can't think of anyone else who might be doing it. That other one, he comes straight out of here and goes straight down anyway from this station. The one that carries these, yeah, what do they call it? I keep forgetting the name. Advanced wood frames, brilliant. So yeah, TVs now should be doing better. But what I like, TVs, right? But now we have the circuits backed up, which is just great, isn't it? So really, if TVs require circuits, that's brilliant, but they also require more of these advanced wood frames, and advanced wood frames are being shipped for money, and we don't need to do that. What we could do is turn the shipping of money off, let the business go bankrupt, and put most of them going straight into here. If I really wanted to work it through and it wasn't the final episode, I'd look at the supply of these guys. They're making them here, and I've got 4 of them. If you have a look at his raw products though, whoa, something's wrong. Oh wow, something's dreadfully wrong. Oh my god. Well, no, it isn't actually. It's not wrong. It was a train, and we had train issues, but it was a train bringing sand. Now the train bringing sand in, let's go speed 2. Train bringing, is this sand? Yeah, it is sand. Yep, train bringing sand in. He needs to fire up and make these guys. He turns off and comes down here, and that was meant to be it. And of course, circuits are requiring sand as well, aren't they? Yeah, they are, because circuits need yeah, here we go. So there were none of these happening a minute ago. You can see the lines ahead. So now they're refiring, so that the problem there was sand. And what the issue there is, and this is this the sand train? It is. We've got a bit of money here. Do you know what we might do? I mean, one extra train could be a huge problem, because one extra train, yeah, it might be a real issue. But I want to just see about this. If I go to my fleet manager, and let me just stay on speed 1 then. I know where the train is. Let's let him go. And I go fleet manager, and I turn to trains. And then if I go sort by routes, and then I want to have a look here and see the sand. And I'm just looking down here. I can see gold, 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 copper. But this should all be here. But sand, and it is in alphabetical there. So if I have a look at it, Sand Industrial Hub, Sand Industrial Hub. So there are 2 running that, train 14 and train 27. Yeah, so let me just, can I click on him? Follow vehicle and follow vehicle. So that's the other one heading down there anyway. Turn this one off and we'll close him off, and let's go to follow vehicle here. So we do have another one there. So I'm just going to jump out of that and have a look for him. And I should be able to tell by his color of his, there he is, sand there. So he is unloaded but waiting to get out. So there are 2 trains. If I run a 3rd train in, it really could jam the network, but I'm tempted just to do it anyway because the sand really needs to flow, and if the sand stops, everything stops. So I'm going to try and see if my network can hold one more of those, so we'll do that. So let's go here, and we go copy, and then we hit the sand train. What is it? Sand Industrial Hub. Pause the game here. Sand Industrial Hub. 3 million, we've got 11 million, we'll just do it. And then I do that, and I'll hit speed 3, and we'll now watch and see if that's been the straw that breaks the camel's back. Hopefully this sand train will take, should be coming out now. Where is he? Oh, he's gone already. Geez, he was fast, wasn't he? Well, I don't know if he just did that, but don't know if he took the bypass either. Look, these 2 tube trains right behind each other, and then we've got one of the original Mark 1 trains there as well. So that's interesting. I am on speed 3 here. Let me just check the check this. 392 of 450. Jeez, guys. So let's leave it on speed 3, and then what we might actually do is just pause the game and then come back. There's more sand come in now. I've got 3 of the trains, but I'm going to pause the game and come back to us towards the end of it, and we are going to see you very shortly, and we'll talk a little bit about how all this has gone. So stand by, and I'll see you towards the tail end. Okay guys, what I had to do there, it took a little bit of time, but what I had to do is just take off, and of course we're at 447 out of 450, so we're about to go over the threshold. In fact, about to go to 448. On speed 1, let's enjoy ourselves for this last bit of the series. But what I had to do is jump into, if you hop into this main depot I've been using, and I had to basically take a couple of the passenger trains off the rails. Now I'm just going to put it back on, and actually by default, I tell you what, one thing I want the devs to implement by default is longer depots. The depot should be the length of the maximum trains, otherwise you shouldn't be able to make those trains that length, and you should be able to take up that space and have these massive long train depots. So if you look at our longest train, 250 meters, these guys here, the depot should be that long as well. I think that would be fantastic. Those buildings would look great, they'd be really visible. There's enough room on the maps. I think they should make players do that by default. That's my little bit of realism that I'd like to see in the default part of the game, and one that should have been in ages ago. But yes, I had to take a couple of passenger trains off the network. Now the passenger trains did, see, here's one here, and they do use the regular part of the network, and of course they hold things up. Now where they do really hold things up is they need to select this bypass lane here quite early on too, because you must select it. In fact, I asked them to select the bypass lane quite a bit out. Now if passenger trains need to come back from here, if they're coming back around, passenger trains are coming back around and coming into here, they'll be selecting the outside lane, and just following this through 49. We're about to go across that threshold, people. Wait for the green to come up. Yeah, they'll select the outside lane. They'll come into here. I just realized they'll select the outside lane, swap into the inside lane. They can never get across to the bypass. So once they go through, they can never get to where this one is on the bypass. There's a fault there. But those trains would always go down to Gwalior. So they'd always go to Gwalior as part of their route. So they would never come from here and then come back and do a turnaround and go back. That's why they'd always head back out. And that's part of that. Here we go, 449 out of 450 TVs, and we're about to finalize our research and complete the game for our passengers Let's Play of Voxel Tycoon. So it is going to be a nice little moment. And here we go. Yes, there we go. Congratulations, Stitch Up Incorporated. You've reached the final objective. Your value is 239,366,100 quid. Your money in the bank is blah. You have 10 regions, 68 trucks, 32 trains, 579 buildings. Research all 54. Playtime 71. I did do a bit of tinkering in the game. 36 years in game as well, so that is quite lovely. So you can pause it on there if you want to have a look at a few of those. But yeah, I did a bit of tinkering off camera. Of course, this is why inflation went up so much, but we're making more. Things cost more. I turned inflation down by default because that's how I wanted to balance the game, knowing that I would do the tinkering in between episodes. I like to tidy things up. I like to play on camera and then tidy things up. We can close this now, and yeah, this has been quite good. Make sure those two trains are back out. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh no, they're not. Make sure this guy's back out, tube train. And yeah, it's been a lovely series. Let's just turn everything off and have a nice little fly around. Look at this lovely Megapolis, which is really just one giant big city around this lake, and of course separated by this. We've got the road underneath, and now just one big sprawling city. And of course these guys are probably going to join up at some stage as well. So that's great. I do like playing with mountains. I really love mountains. Like this big mountain range here has been fantastic, snow-capped. Gwalia sits in the cusp of that, like some sort of Zermatt. I love that, and so this is all absolutely brilliant. Cutting into the canyon, expensive but nice. Making this big turnabout lovely. Even having the high-speed rail go over the top of it, it's been really good. Little production areas. We get our sand from our desert area here. We bring in high-speed rail in there as well, and that's been quite lovely. So yeah, and we get the sand from over there, and it really kicks off and goes nice. And then of course the last part of the game is really expanding down to these areas, and of course this little city was our bane, but you know, we got there in the end. It doesn't want anything of value, does it? No, but we did make it nice. We gave it some trucks, we gave it a bypass, and it works. These two cities, no love for them. Lovely little marshland area, and a nice lake. And heading down to our gold area as well. Sorry, one of the things I always do is go forward and scroll back like that. Putting a church out on the island of death is lovely. And of course we have this, look at that backed up there, which is beautiful. So actually this is probably not bad. These guys are really backed up, so probably what I would have done next is converted those two gold trains into, we can pause the game now, converted some gold trains into some more that could have brought these gold bars in back down to town. So that's what I probably would have done next, because in fact earlier on what I should have done is maximize more of getting more gold out of the ground, because if you think about these mines, keeping these 6 mines busy and filled up is great, and what you then want to do is keep bringing it in, because don't forget all that gold that came into here. It did. Let's follow it back past the lake. There's the train coming back. And all that gold would come into here. The trains would come past here. It would come off to here, and then these guys would unload and give it over to this guy. And let's just have a bit of a look at him. I mean, it's a lovely kind of Fort Knoxy type area, isn't it? Yeah, I like that. The gold, it's a bank. Yes, very nice. Average here. So yeah, nothing in storage. He wants 390, but he does want a lot of gold. But don't forget, when you get a lot of gold, you get a lot of money, and that's where you can really make some money. Gold's expensive, but you can really make money out of it once you get going. And gold would allow me to have done everything else that I wanted to do in the game. So guys, that has been the end of this series. This is Voxel Tycoon, the Passengers Let's Play, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Please leave comments, go back and check out the other episodes, please. And I think this is episode 43, but don't quote me, check the thumbnail. Don't forget to check out my other Factorio series, Planet Coaster. We're going to be doing some Microsoft Flight Simulator again, and of course we will be looking at Planet Zoo, but don't also forget we're going to be doing much more Voxel Tycoon. I'm keen to hear what you want in Voxel Tycoon, and of course I always plan to do some tutorials as well for Voxel Tycoon as well. If you think they're handy, let me know and I can do that as well. If that's something that that people want, brilliant. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for watching Stitch Up. Cheers.